LSU at Texas A&M. Now, interesting, this spread yesterday was favoring A&M by 3.5 points. Since then, it is now down to 2.5 points. Could be nothing. Could be something. We'll find out. 7:30 Eastern, ABC, Kyle Field. That place will be rocking. I've said it many times, man. I had the privilege of working local news for all of like 2, maybe 3 months in College Station. They live and die with their Aggies. You probably already knew that, but I'm just telling you, this is the game now where they will be absolutely on fire within Kyle Field. They always are, but it'll be extra on fire for LSU rolling into town. College football sickos, LSU Tiger fans, Texas A&M fans, massive game this week. Want you locked in, want you subscribed right here, and we appreciate you in advance for being dialed in to this program. Also want to make sure you know the hard count brought to you by our friends over at Prize Picks. Got a square for you that we love a little bit later in this prediction segment, so lock in for that. But code HARDCOUNT, $5 in lineups. Gets you $50 in promo funds. We plan on winning. We play to win. You play to win the game. But even if we don't, you still get $50 in promo funds to just max out throughout the rest of this college football season. Thank you for using that code. Thank you for being subscribed. Now back to the prediction. Playoff game kind of vibe to it now. LSU unbeaten in the SEC. A&M unbeaten in the SEC. Kind of interesting parallels between their two seasons. A&M, they lose the opener to Notre Dame. Bounce back. They're swinging for the fence right now. Thinking college football playoff. Same deal for LSU. You lose the opener to USC in Vegas, and everyone's talking about Brian Kelly, and we got a meme where he's slamming the table, and like, it is what it is. Right now, y'all, LSU, they're very much so in control in the same way of their own college football playoff destiny and their SEC title destiny. Let's start with LSU here in terms of like where they sit right now. Don't look now. They're starting to look very Brian Kelly-ish. And what I mean by that is when Brian Kelly got the job at LSU, nobody questioned of could he win there. It was more so a matter of, well, how long is it going to take? And you're seeing this team now every single year take steps towards being what I would call a Brian Kelly team. Disciplined, they don't beat themselves. They start to play their best football as the year wears on. They're starting to play better defense. Shouts to Blake Baker. Starting to look very much so more like an LSU outfit out there in Baton Rouge. And that makes sense because it is an LSU outfit, but we understand now that first game of the year, you're like, oh boy, like, is this going to be one of those years? Is this going to be one of those years where we're, because we needed the USC win to feel good about our playoff aspirations. And then after you got the Ole Miss win, you're like, okay, let's go on a run now. Let's go get it. Again, not unfair to think about the college football playoff if you're out there in Baton Rouge right now. In fact, I think that probably would be the way that I'd be thinking if I'm a Tiger fan. Now, for Texas A&M, this game to me can be the verifier. You know, you put the blue check next to A&M after a game like this if you beat LSU at the crib, because the Missouri game was really impressive. You body bagged a top 10 team in America, belt to behind. Like, it is what it is. There's not a whole lot more to say about that. However, we truly have been a little bit cool on Missouri throughout the course of this season, even going back to media days. What I'm trying to say here is I don't know if Missouri in reality is a top 10 team. Now, you get credit for beating a top 10 team. I'm not trying to downplay that by any stretch of the imagination. But if you beat LSU now, after what LSU has shown throughout the course of this year, like, I have no more questions about A&M. And also looking at their schedule the rest of the way now, like, that would be a massive, massive step for them towards the college football playoff. Because you got South Carolina on the road, you got Auburn on the road, you got Texas, but you just need to get 3 of those. You just need 3. And I understand now that the one you're circling as the most difficult test now is Texas. Not saying anything about that game just yet. I'm just saying from a roster perspective, Texas is the most talented roster left on your schedule. That's not novel analysis. You can get this one. You can walk the tightrope on the road. Like, hey, you can drop that Texas game. If you were to drop that Texas game, still be in Atlanta and still more than likely be in the college football playoff. So the battle here for me is really interesting when I look at both these offenses. Texas A&M, a lot like good barbecue. Like any good barbecue spot worth its salt. Shout out to Andy Staples. He can fact check me on this. But in my experience, you got a solid meat and 3 combo there. You got a great meat. You got some tremendous variety of sides there, whether it be some mac and cheese, maybe you got some fries, like whatever it looks like, the sides are always really, really quality. And that's kind of where A&M is right now. The meat of this offense is the run game, the brisket, the ribs, Le'Veon Moss downhill, brother. That's who they want to be. Over the course of this season, Texas A&M, I understand you sprinkle in the Marcel Reed variable into this equation, so it's a little bit more balanced since then. But like Colin Klein wants to run the ball. They're 37% pass right now on the year. They want to give Le'Veon Moss the football. I think to put a more fine point on this, or maybe a more broad point on this, they want to get the football to their best players. On third down, they want to go to Jabri Barber. Had a great game last week against Mississippi State. They want to get their matchups with Noah Thomas as well, and that's kind of the sides here. Like a great barbecue experience, you can give me good brisket, and I'm like, okay, cool, that was awesome. Maybe I'll come back for that. But if you give me good brisket and good mac and cheese, now we got a complete experience going on. And the sides here, like I said, are the pass game. It is Jabri Barber. It is Noah Thomas. It is Connor Wegman. How much can you put on Connor Wegman's plate in this spot? Remains to be seen. But if they can get the pass game going, you got the sides, you got the brisket, you got the run game, like all these things now work together to where A&M, that would be their style of game they want to play. And the best example of that is the Missouri game. You saw it against Missouri. The pass game's working, got the sides working, got the run game working. Le'Veon Moss has a day and a half on the ground. That's who A&M, I believe, wants to be if you were to give Colin Klein and Mike Elko some truth serum. So we'll talk about the defense here in a second for both sides, but the LSU offense, to me, staying in this like culinary metaphor world, I think they're just like a really strong two-course meal. You got great dinner, you got great dessert. That's who they want to be. Now, the dinner for them is the run game. Maybe a better way to put that is the dinner for them is the offensive line. Because like that was the talking point going into the season is Will Campbell is that dude. He's got the number 7 patch. I'd love if they gave him the number 7 jersey. Like that's a whole other discussion to have. Give Will Campbell number 7. You got quarterbacks out here wearing 33. I digress. That's like the rare ribeye for them. Keep it simple, nothing too fancy. We're going to punch you in the mouth. If you can swing back, God bless you, but like that's who we are. And what they found in Caden Durham, that young back, has been a game changer for them. Over 100 yards against Arkansas this past weekend. They're going to move the line of scrimmage. Do you have someone who can make someone miss in space? Caden Durham, to this point in the year, has been that answer for them. Now, he's a little bit dinged up, so you hope he's able to be at max efficiency when it's time to play this game. But if they can get the main course going, then guess what? You get to have some dessert. All right? Now, similar to the metaphor we made about A&M and their offense, the dessert for LSU is the pass game because they love their wide receivers. But you only get to experience dessert if you experience dinner first, right? Like you're only able to maximize Kyron Lacey if those defensive backs are having to worry about getting downhill and tackling Caden Durham or having to take on Will Campbell in the alleyway, like whatever it looks like. So I think that's kind of the thing to watch here. How much are they able to maximize that part of the offense? Because it's very obvious now, like Joe Sloan trusts Garrett Nussmeier to sling it, man. And I wouldn't be surprised if we got into a spot here where it's a stalemate up front between the LSU offensive line and the A&M defensive line, because those are two of the best units, respectively, in the SEC at their position group. They trust Nussmeier to sling it, man. You saw him throw it 50 times against Ole Miss. But this thing will really get cranking. It'll be a complete meal, a complete experience for them if you can run the football, feed Caden Durham, let the offensive line eat, and then kind of pick your matchups with Kyron Lacey. Similar to what we said about A&M. On third down, they love Aaron Anderson. So just a little Easter egg for you. Keep an eye on that. They love Aaron Anderson in the slot, and he's going to be a guy they try to feed when it comes time for them to pick up the sticks, all right? So we mentioned the offenses. It really does come down to me, what you get from the defensive line for both sides, because they're kind of similar in a lot of ways. Both want to stop the run and rush the passer. That's obviously the responsibility for the defensive line. But in this situation now, with what we laid out both offenses want to do, the defensive line has to win on first and second down to be able to then get after the passer. Like Brady Swinson, like they want to allow him to go hunt. Nick Scorton, they want him to go hunt, respectively, for LSU and A&M. So who can step up against the run to then go hunt the quarterback? And so when we break this game down, man, like I think if Texas A&M gets to play their style of football, like we saw them do against Missouri, where it's complementary, Connor Wegman's able to elevate those sides of a Noah Thomas, of a Jabri Barber, you go down the line there, that would be, I think, the game that A&M wins. Like if A&M plays their style of ball, they win. It's like Vince Vaughn, man. I love Vince Vaughn. But Vince Vaughn plays himself in every single movie. And I'll watch every single movie. I think it's awesome. But like Vince Vaughn's not playing a wide array of characters. He's playing Vince Vaughn. Whereas I think LSU's got a little more Leo DiCaprio to him. Not the first time we've made the comp between LSU and Leo DiCaprio, but stick with me here. I think LSU can win a sloppy style of game. I think if this thing gets a little bit weird and there's turnovers and neither side can run the football because they're both selling out to stop the run, and Whit Weeks is having his way up front with Le'Veon Moss, like if that happens, I like LSU to have a little bit more range and adaptability to the role of this football game. Now, here's the other thing for me, too. Watching Georgia and Texas, to me, just reemphasized the importance of how much you've been stress tested throughout the course of a season. And A&M has had the stress test, okay? Don't get it twisted. A Notre Dame game, it's a really good Notre Dame defense, all right? That Notre Dame offense has progressed over the course of the year, but that Notre Dame game, it's a good stress test. It's in week 1. Same deal with LSU. We mentioned the parallels. Great stress test in week 1. The USC loss isn't aging how you would like it to age, but ball up top. Let's keep it going. I think more recently, though, I appreciate that LSU had to beat Ole Miss in Baton Rouge. Dramatic? Sure. Good stress test. On the road against Arkansas. Made light work. I think that's a good stress test. Texas A&M, again, I love the Missouri win for the resume. From a stress test perspective, like, I don't know if I think that's like the heavy bar that I want you to step under before you go play LSU. Now, it is in College Station. That absolutely counts for something. But at the end of the day, man, I think you got to kind of got to go with your gut here. So I'll give you my prize pick square that I love, and then I'm going to go with our prediction for the game. So the prize pick square that I love, Kyron Lacey, his reception or his longest reception number right now is listed at 26.5 yards. I think he'll have more than that, so go ahead and take the more there. A&M has struggled at times with explosive plays, and it's not been a thing where they just get beat one-on-one necessarily. It's been a lot of play kind of breaks down, guys out of position, and then the opposition is able to capitalize on that. You saw that against Arkansas. You saw that, I mean, honestly, earlier in the season as well. However, take the more there with Kyron Lacey. Also, like I mentioned, they're going to try and feed him the football. So our prediction in this game, like I said, to some degree, man, you just kind of got to go with your gut. I think if you asked me to take the better defensive line, I would take A&M. However, I think the more established head coach is Brian Kelly. The quarterback that I trust more to this point in the year is Garrett Nussmeier. If Connor Wegman is able to elevate, like I just mentioned, and take advantage of where I think the LSU defense is most gettable, well, then A&M's going to win this football game. But again, there's more ways, I think, in more situations that could unfold where I think LSU would be at an advantage. So for that reason, I will take LSU. I will take them close. All right, there's no scenario that's going to surprise me here, but I will take LSU to win the football game, 26-21 in College Station. Nothing down on A&M. It is what it is. But I think that, again, LSU, with the experience, with what I think they have on the roster and the way they're trending right now and the stress test, I like the Tigers to win. And obviously, with them being dogs on the road, I will take them to cover.